Real Madrid has started the season poorly. Everything that could have gone wrong for them has been going wrong so far. Defense, build-up, pressing, creativity in attack, chaos in the structure, you name it. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the biggest issues Real Madrid has been facing this season and if they can solve them. Real Madrid's problems start with very poor defending. Some of it is related to individual mistakes, but others are caused by structural issues. Let's look at individual mistakes first. Militao has started the season very badly. When he is at his best, he is a great defender, but this season he has been beaten one-on-one on several occasions already. He has missed quite simple runs by the opposition, and this has happened regularly. Militao needs to do better. Carvajal's injury has not helped either. Lucas Vázquez is not a natural defender and often fails to recognize danger in time and does not cover his players. This happened against Dortmund in the Champions League, against Rafinha in El Clasico, and several other times. There have also been several occasions of maddening lack of awareness by defense as a whole. In the sequence against Celta, Tchouaméni is out of position because Vini and Mbappe do not track back, which we will talk about later. Camavinga does not recognize a problem and fails to help out. As a result, Madrid concedes a very simple and predictable 1-2. Rudiger is now out of position to attack the right winger, while Militao has to cover a runner, which ideally should have been covered by Camavinga in this situation. This leaves an on-rushing Swedberg who has to be covered by Vázquez. The makeshift right back recognizes this very late, and by the time he arrives, the ball is already in the back of the net. Or this sequence against Barcelona. This is quite an ordinary situation. Balde has two options here, either pass the ball back to keep possession or send a cross in for Lewandowski, who is the only Barca man in the box. Militao and Rudiger have several seconds to recognize this, but for whatever reason, neither covers Lewandowski. Remember, the only player Barcelona has in the box. This is just unacceptable defending. But the individual mistakes and lapses of concentration can all be cleaned up as the team and defenders reach their season peaks. I think Rudiger, Militao and Mendy, on an individual level, they'll be fine. But Lucas Vázquez playing against the best teams will continue being exposed. I'm not sure why Ancelotti refuses to call up one of the brightest talents in the Real Madrid academy, right back Jesus Fortea. Bring the kid up and see what he has to offer, because the way Lucas Vázquez has been playing, that's just not good enough. Madrid's right side will continue being a defensive black hole until he plays there. But the bigger problem is the structure. Athletic's Michael Cox dissected it brilliantly in his article. Madrid's structural problems in defense stem from their bad positioning in midfield and poorly constructed high pressing. In the El Clasico, Real Madrid's defensive shape was 4-4-2 with Vini and Mbappe responsible for covering central defenders, while Camavinga on the left and Bellingham on the right defended fullbacks. As a result, the central duo of Tchouaméni and Valverde were outnumbered against free Barca midfielders. Time and time again, Fermin Lopez found himself unmarked with a significant amount of space available to him to turn around and develop their attack. This was like a cheat code for Barcelona's build-up. Despite the fact that Carlo Ancelotti and his staff had more than enough games to understand how Barcelona plays, they somehow failed to prepare countermeasures for Flick's preferred tactic of progressing the ball through narrow midfield positioning. That is on Ancelotti and can be fixed with better tactical preparation. But some of it may be by design. Ancelotti himself said that he prefers Mbappe to play in attack rather than helping with defending. Last year, Vini's attacking partner was Rodrigo, which allowed Madrid to play in a 4-5-1 shape out of possession, with Rodrigo dropping into the right midfielder position. This gave Real Madrid a solid mid-block. This year, Madrid's defensive shape is 4-4-2, and with Vini and Mbappe being inactive without the ball, makes it easy for the opposition to slice through their high press. And the main risk of high pressing is that once you pass the first line of pressing, you get yourself in acres of space. It often takes just 2-3 progressive passes of the opposition to tear Real Madrid's defense apart. I understand why Ancelotti wants Mbappe and Vini to focus on their attacking game at the expense of defending, but then you should avoid pressing your opposition high. And if you want to press high, at least one of the two attackers are supposed to be more active defensively and in pressing. Otherwise, you're going to suffer defensively. So it is a matter of choice for Ancelotti, because if you intend to do both, you're going to have problems. Another major problem is Madrid's high and disorganized defensive line. When you have a high line, you're supposed to be good at offside traps. Look no further than Flick's Barcelona, and this comes with training. The way Madrid has been trying to create an offside trap does not indicate that they've really been training for it much. There is a clear lack of cohesion here. That is on the coaching staff too. So Madrid has several major issues in their game without the ball, but it's not like they've been lighting the world on fire while they're attacking, despite having so many top offensive players. I mean, they were supposed to dominate everyone with Mbappe, Vini, Bellingham and Rodrigo, but it has not been that simple. One of the issues is less than ideal build-up. Here, Madrid suffers from a Toni Kroos-shaped whole. The German legend was in charge of Real Madrid's build-up for a decade, and in his absence they have suffered in that respect. To be fair, things were even worse when their most press-resistant midfielders Bellingham and Camavinga were injured, and have somewhat improved with their arrival. But in the build-up, Madrid is not compact. There is a lot of space between their defenders and attackers. There is not a lot of options for defenders to pass to in the midfield in central areas. They have to go to the flanks, where the attacks are usually stifled, causing the loss of possession or the ball going back to defenders. Specifically, Mendy has always been poor in build-up. He offers almost nothing offensively, he rarely makes forward passes. Due to problems in build-up, Madrid has been using long balls to their fast attackers quite often recently. Both Rudiger and Militao are capable of making great long passes, but this is a low percentage game leading to quick loss of possession. This in turn prevents Madrid from having regular spells of sustained pressure against the opposition. But even when Real Madrid gets to the attacking third, they often look devoid of ideas. The most common tactic is just pass the ball to Vini, let him dribble and create chances. Nothing wrong with that because Vini is so good, but you need to have options. Madrid has been criticized this season for being too left-leaning. All three starting attackers, Vini, Mbappe and Rodrigo, are natural left wingers. Bellingham likes playing in the left half space too. As a result, most of Madrid's attacks go through the left flank, but that is not necessarily a bad thing. This has been the case in the past few years as well. The difference is that Toni Kroos is not there anymore. In the previous seasons, when 3-4 Madrid players would gather on the left to combine, but failed to make something out of it, they would just go back to Kroos, who would send pinpoint diagonal passes to an open player on the right flank. These quick switches of play forced the opposition to stay honest in defending Madrid's right flank and frequently imbalanced it and gave Madrid attacking options. Now that he's not there, the ball travels slowly with short passes, which makes Madrid's attack slow and predictable. Another common problem is that Madrid very often lacks box presence. All three forwards usually tend to stay outside of the box and try to make something happen through combining and dribbling, and when they get into the box, they miss a poacher presence. Look at this sequence here. Jude Bellingham is in the box with the ball in a position that begs for a hard pass into the 6-yard box, but neither Vini nor Mbappe make a run to the post. They wait for a cutback instead. If at least one of them runs to the post, the other could wait for a cutback pass, stretching the opposition defense and giving Bellingham options. Last season, Bellingham and Rodrigo gave Madrid that box presence, and of course they had Joselu as an option too. Ancelotti likes to give his attackers freedom and is rightly praised for that. Last season, Real Madrid's attack was chaotic, but it was an organized chaos. Player movements and patterns were not automatic, but each player had a profile, helping Madrid's attack to blend into an unpredictable and explosive force. This season, many things in attack just look absolutely random. Take a look at this episode. Ceballos starts a free kick against Milan. At this point, Madrid's attackers are Vini and Mbappe. Both are outside of the box. Ceballos passes to Mbappe, who crosses into the box. Crossing is not something Mbappe is great at. He should be the one in the box for set pieces, not the one taking it. That reminds me of Harry Kane taking corners for England. Mbappe is not Benzema. He's not known for being a great link-up attacker. He's a runner, a dribbler, a shooter. But in Madrid, he's rarely making runs or offering himself in the box. Kylian is at his best when he's at full speed, when he's burning defenders with his pace. But at Madrid, he has often been static. He has not been making enough runs. He has been caught offside many times. He has missed chances he usually scores. He rarely offers himself in the box. Mbappe simply needs to do better and act more like a number 9 if he is to succeed in Madrid. In attack, Madrid needs to make sure that there is more creativity, more runs, more options in the box, more switches of play, quicker passing. Arda Güler and Endrick have been rarely used. Give them a chance. Arda can offer that creativity. Endrick can offer box and poacher presence. What is going on now is not good enough, so why not try something different? A lot of Madrid's problems come down to finding a way of playing without Kroos and with Mbappe. So far, they have not figured that out, and that have hurt them both offensively and defensively. Some of the issues will be solved when individuals clean out simple mistakes, but other issues require better coaching and more structure. And that is on Carlo Ancelotti. Maybe he should ask Vini and Mbappe to help more in defending and pressing. If not, he should just maybe drop into mid-block and low block and utilize the strength of its attackers, namely Mbappe and Vini, to use their blistering pace and hurt their opposition like that on counterattacks. And again, I'm all in favor of creative chaos and freedom in attack, but that creative chaos should follow a logic in which you always have somebody threatening the opposition in the box, and a logic in which players don't get in each other's way. Ancelotti needs to act fast and decisively, otherwise this season may quickly descend into crisis for Real Madrid. See you on the next one.